Product provided by Nintendo. Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions is a remake of the classic comedy RPG with the same name that came out on the Gameboy Advance back in 2003. This new version of the game upgrades all the visuals while adding in some slightly new gameplay mechanics and a new side story as well. Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga features one of the most funny and charming stories in a Mario Bros. Video game. The plot starts off when Cacletta and her assistant Fawful arrive at Princess Peach's castle disguised as goodwill ambassadors. The evil pair steal Princess Peach's voice and replace it with literally an explosive vocabulary that drops bombs every time she speaks. In response, her assistant Toad summons Mario and Luigi to the castle, who end up running into Bowser, who's in the middle of trying to kidnap the princess, only to find out about her new explosive vocabulary that would completely destroy his castle. Against all the odds, the Mario Brothers and Bowser decide to team up to save Princess Peach's voice. After all, what good is kidnapping a princess if her voice would destroy her castle? Most of the story takes place in the Bean Bean Kingdom, the kingdom next door to the Mushroom Kingdom. This kingdom is filled with different terrains that haven't been part of the Mario Bros. Series before outside of Bowser and Peach's castle. The enemies in the game are both new and old to the Mario Bros. Series despite it taking place in a brand new kingdom. A new side story that takes place during the main game is implemented in this remake as well. It's called Bowser's Minions. This side story focuses on Bowser's Minions' point of view during the events of Superstar Saga. The overall tone of the story is incredibly comedic, which is what the Mario RPG series has come to be known for. Writing for the most part remains intact with little to no changes to the original script. That's a good thing though, the original script was incredibly funny with lovable characters and charming personalities. The original Superstar Saga featured one of the best stories in the Mario RPG franchise, and this remake is no different with a great 30 to 35 hour story to experience. While Superstar Saga provides some pretty big changes in the visual department, you'll find a few new features and changes to the gameplay that take advantage of the new 3DS hardware. Gameplay is split into two categories: combat battles and overworld exploration. In the non-combat sections, the player will control the plumber duo Mario and Luigi, as the two are mostly inseparable in this game. Moving Mario has Luigi follow right behind him in the same direction. The two start off with simple abilities like being able to do a simple jump, but as the game progresses, the story will introduce new abilities such as the spin jump and the high jump that will open up the terrains and areas you can reach. You can switch between these special abilities with the shoulder buttons or quickly activate one with the touchscreen on the 3DS. Pressing A will make Mario jump and pressing B will make Luigi jump. Something new to this version of the game is being able to press X to make both of the brothers jump at the same time. These overworld sections are usually filled with platforming puzzles, NPCs to talk to, and enemies that will throw you into battle if you come into contact with them. A few changes were made to the overworld because of the 3DS's dual screen hardware. Usually the bottom screen features a hotkey swap of all your special abilities, but you can also open up a mini-map that can be displayed at all times. This is particularly useful because the map doesn't just show the layout of the room you're in, but also the rooms that are connected to the room you're currently in. It can get pretty confusing to keep track of all the locations and rooms at times, so this is a pretty useful new tool along with its pinning system. Pressing the menu on the touchscreen will open up Mario and Luigi's suitcase, giving you access to different settings including a nice view of the kingdom and Mario and Luigi's current battle stats. In the menu you can take a look at items you've collected, whether it's from battles or question blocks in the overworld. This dives into some of the RPG elements like being able to switch out your character's gear and checking how that gear affects their battle stats. One new feature that'll surely be appreciated is the new Story So Far mode in the Records tab. This will give the player a short description of the last objective that was completed and the next one that needs to be attempted. It's something really useful for players that find themselves playing RPGs like this from time to time, sometimes forgetting what they last did when playing sessions are days apart. Something else that's been added to this remake from newer Mario and Luigi games on the 3DS is the ability to save at any point in time right from the menu, loosening some of the restrictions that the original game had. Speaking of loosening restrictions, this game features a fast forward button for conversations, something definitely appreciated by me at least. Superstar Saga has some great writing, but there's definitely moments like the tutorials that feel like they can drag on for a bit, so being able to at least speed through them is a welcome feature. Now we've talked about the overworld sections, but let's jump into the combat and RPG elements. Battles are activated whenever you come into contact with an enemy NPC, or during a major battle moment in the game. Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga follows a turn-based battle system that you'll recognize from something like the Paper Mario series. Much like in that series, if you jump or hit an enemy in the overworld to activate a battle, you'll actually start the fight by landing some damage. During a battle, you'll see your character's stats on the 3DS's touchscreen. These battle stats are your level, your power, defense, speed, and of course your snatch power, aka your luck. During an attack phase, you can choose between jumping on your enemy, running away, activating an item, or using a bro attack, and you can think of bro attacks as skill attacks. Bro attacks use up a battle currency called bro points. These attacks have the brothers work together to land a stronger attack, but require the player to press a certain button combination during the attack to land the full amount of damage. In this version of the game, it's a bit easier to land those attacks because it pretty much gives you a diagram of steps on what to do on the touchscreen. You can even click practice and literally practice the attack before actually attempting it in the battle. It definitely feels like getting a pair of training wheels for this game. That's not even mentioning that you can swap between an easy and a normal difficulty in the menu too. It's no secret that Nintendo is trying to cater to new players of the series and making the game feel much more accessible for those wary of playing an RPG like this. For veteran players that prefer the challenge, you pretty much just have to ignore all these new features. Aside from the bro attacks, regular jump attacks like the other Mario RPGs will earn you more damage if you press the A button at the moment of contact with an enemy, allowing you to daisy chain a second attack for maximum damage. When switching to defense, you can either guard to minimize the amount of damage done, or try your hand at jumping at the right time to dodge the attack. Previously, the player would need to figure out who was being attacked to decide who to jump with, but you could also just press the jump button for both of the characters at the same time. It's a bit easier to dodge oncoming attacks this way. After defeating an enemy, you'll earn XP that'll level up your character and buff up their battle stats in return. Overall, the new gameplay changes in this remake seem targeted at either new players to the Mario & Luigi series or gamers in general who are intimidated of playing any RPG. Being able to switch to an easy difficulty and practice your bro attacks are all training wheel features that are sure to get more players to try the game. For veteran players out there that don't really care about this stuff, there are refinements to the gameplay that definitely make it a better experience on the 3DS. For example, being able to save at any point in the game is a much welcome addition, along with the vastly improved map system to help keep track of the locations you've been to. Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga was already pretty great in terms of gameplay, but these refinements only make the experience better for newcomers and veterans alike. Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga has gotten quite a makeover in the 3DS remake. The visuals have gotten completely remade and it's much more in line with the art style of the other Mario & Luigi games on the 3DS, like Mario & Luigi Dream Team. When you do a side-by-side of the original with this remake, you'll notice that the sprites were not just updated, but at times the entire rooms were updated or at least redesigned to have some new features than the original. Some objects have also been redrawn to accurately fit the sizing of the new art style. I do wish the game supported the 3DS's 3D effect, but sadly it's completely absent in this title. The new visual effect that stands out the most to me is the use of lighting with the new art style. Scenes that take place outside or inside with lighting look absolutely fantastic. In Peach's castle, for example, the sunshine outside casts shadows through the windows, while when you're outside, you'll see live shadows of clouds cast over you while you explore. I'm a really big fan of lighting effects with 2D graphics, and this new remake definitely nails it. It makes the game feel much more lively. Shirtless Mario has never looked this good, well, at least until Super Mario Odyssey comes out. Along with the visual upgrade, the music in this new remake has been completely redone. Most of the tracks have either been remixed or redone with more instruments, making the redone tracks really stand out. The use of percussion in these new songs particularly stand out to me when playing for long periods of time with a nice pair of headphones. While I'm sure many gamers will hold the original tracks close to heart, I feel like the new versions do the original justice. The new music definitely has fury. Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions is a great remake of the original classic RPG for the Game Boy Advance. This 2017 remake keeps everything that made the original game great while refining some of the more lacking gameplay features that were caused by the hardware limitations of the Game Boy Advance. Having the touchscreen and a second screen in general make managing things like the map much easier, along with other non-hardware limitations like having a save option anywhere in the game. That's not even mentioning that this remake features a pretty funny new side story from the point of view of Captain Goomba, who's trying to rescue Bowser. My main gripes with the original game were that conversations could get pretty long when it felt like it didn't need to be, and the controls could get a bit clunky on the Game Boy Advance. But the 3DS version fixes both of these issues with the touchscreen and the fast forward button. I just wish that this remake would use the 3DS's 3D feature. The game looks gorgeous in 2D, but would definitely look better if the new lighting effects were in 3D. Regardless, it's a nitpick on a fantastic game that's worth playing if you never got the chance to play the original, and worth revisiting if you felt the fury back in 2003. That's a review of Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions for the Nintendo 3DS. If you have any questions about the game that I may have missed in my review, feel free to ask me in the comment section down below and I'll do my best to get back to you. If you do enjoy my game reviews, then please consider subscribing, and if you have any requests for games coming out in the future that you'd like to see reviewed, let me know in the comment section down below. As always, thank you all very much for watching, and keep on gaming.